Myself and some club members, we spent the weekend not far from Oban and to dive the Sound of Mull. And we spent a couple of nights on the Honeydew, which is a converted fishing boat. It's roughly 50 years old and it caters for up to 12 divers. Now here we've got the galley where Susie is our host. She made some amazing food, home cooked food from scratch. It's amazing what you can do in that kitchen. And this is the accommodation, bunk beds, as I mentioned before, for up to 12 divers. There's 2 showers on boards, 2 toilets, and there's a section, an area that where you can just chill out for each dive. After each dive, you get tea, coffee, hot chocolate to your choosing for each dive, which is always welcome. So Saturday we sailed away into some rough, windy weather. First dive was called Sassenach Point, which was, as you'll see shortly, us hunting for scallops. Big jump. As you can see by the diver's flag, it's quite windy. At times a bit rough, as you can see the waves coming in. So the first dive, Sassenach Point. So once we was under, straight away we noticed there's so many scallops everywhere. We're just filling our pockets with these scallops. There's other marine life there, your crabs and your anemones and your brittle starfish. So I'm filling up my pockets and even my buddies' pockets and even BCD for later to cook these scallops. I'll show you a video shortly of my dive buddy explaining briefly how you gut these scallops for consuming.
Muscle bit away here, so this is all yuck. So you take hold of the skirt, no rubbish in there, and you pull all that off to get rid of the
Second dive was a wall dive. Driving along and we come to this wall. Your typical things that you see, a lot of anemones, massive edible crab, looking for a fight. Yeah, so this is quite a nice wall dive. I believe it goes roughly down to possibly 50 meters. We roughly hanged around about 20 meters, just looking around for any critters. So we're diving at Breda. This wreck sits roughly around 28 meters at the rudder and the bow roughly 12 meters. So get the shot line straight down, and I believe the shot line is roughly near the center of the holds. I believe this was bombed during World War II. Never got a direct hit, but part of the shrapnel penetrated, I believe, the water line, and eventually over time she sunk. Over time, parts of the mast was penetrating above the water. Believe it was thought it was a safety hazard, and the Royal Navy with a big chain just cut all the tops off. So here you can see lots of, looks like metal tubing, where I believe were like the mast and some of the cranes that just collapsed on top of their deck. So considering as divers here previously to us, the viz wasn't too bad at all. So we're heading towards the bow. As we're going across, you can see the hold area. There's quite a few of them. I believe there's still cargo. Was told there is bags of cement over time, obviously with water, they've hardened up, and it's a great home for some conger eels. Here's my dive buddy. As she said, she was poking her head through to do the reenactment of a scene from Jaws. I believe it's that one where they found the body in the boat poking his head out from the porthole. Yes, I know. So looking down one of the holds, a couple of divers down looking for souvenirs. I had a quick peek, I couldn't see anything. There was a couple of broken bottles and a few tiles. Now I believe this is the accommodation block. Obviously the roof's disappeared over time, so you get a good look inside, especially with this greenish type water. Here we've got the bubbles. Obviously there's divers down below. It sort of reminds me a bit of like an aquarium. So we're heading to the bow still. We're going to go down to the rudder, but we decided not to, so we can have enough time to get to the sound of the ship. There's still a bit of the accommodation block, I believe. And as you can see, just coming at the side of the ship. Just going to have a look down this tube, see if there's anything worth seeing. I believe this just goes down to one of the holds of the ship. As many of this like this, as I mentioned before, the Royal Navy decided to cut them off. And there's a rasp. Only big fish I saw in this dive. And you can see there's more of these have been sort of cut off and sort of littered at the top of the deck. Again, my dive buddy doing a reenactment, if you can guess, 10 points, which he's trying to portray. Can you guess the film? Well, unfortunately, that was the last dive, which was on a Sunday, and Sunday was a totally different day. Sun was out, no wind, perfect day for a dive. So, back on the boat. As always with these boats, it's a lift. Great way to get back on the boat. We'll highly recommend diving in the Sound of Mull, and also recommend diving with the Honeydew. I will leave a link down in the description. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.